So, okay, we're back. I'm literally tired, but anyways, we are back to what we think is pretty useful for a decent number of people, a group of people that I consider to be an important part. But anyway, let's just get started, shall we? Um, I just love to be who I am and to act the way I am. It's a wonderful quote. So, what do we have? We have matching features. You may use any letter more than once. Further disappearance of multiple species. When you see the word multiple, you will have to find multiple animals. Reproducing an extinct using explanation of a way of reproducing an extinct animal using the DNA of only that species. Of only that species. That means reproducing extinct animal using DNA refer to a habitat which has suffered following the extinction of a species. So a habitat has suffered because one part of the species has gone extinct. All right. Mention of the exact point at which a particular species become extinct. Exact point. All right. And more other than that, no more. No, you may use any no more than two words. The Woolly Professor George Church. I'm gonna navigate just because it's in the middle. That means it's gonna be somewhere downside. I already navigated here. Look at that. And you have names Ben Novak, Michael Archer, and Ben Shapiro. Beth Shapiro. It's not Ben Shapiro. But I don't know. I know Ben Shapiro. But he's a YouTuber. He's not a YouTuber, but he's a I don't know. He's a debater. Um, Ben Novak. Where are you, Ben Novak? Novak. We have Novak once. We'll have to find one after another. So Ben Novak, one. And then I need to find Michael Archer as well. We have Michael Archer. And then we have who do we have? Beth Shapiro. Okay, Beth Shapiro, where are you? All right, it says Beth Shapiro. I'm just gonna first of all the idea of blah 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 one, and this is the part where Michael Archer says, and what did he say? Novak says for us, and so on and so forth. Also, he says this part. Beth Shapiro says this part as well. You can see the quotes, the quotation signs. The quotation signs is a place you will have to read. And what else did he say? Did he say anything else? He says church. Church is not important for us. Um, anything else? Explains Shapiro. There we go. We have another one. There we go. All right, now paragraph A. Um, so take that. The passenger pigeon was a legendary species, flying in vast numbers across North America with potentially many millions with a single flock. Their migration was once one of nature's great spectacles. Sadly, the passenger pigeon's existence came to an end on 1st September 1914, when the last living specimen died at Cincinnati Zoo. All right. Geneticist Ben Novak is lead researcher on an ambitious project which now aims to bring the bird back to life through a process known as de-extinction. The basic premise means aim. The basic premise involves using cloning technology to turn the DNA of extinct animals into a fertilized embryo, which is carried by the nearest relative still in existence. In this case, the abundant band-tailed pigeon before being born as a living, breathing animal. Passenger pigeons are one of the pioneering species in this field, but they are far from the only ones on which this cutting-edge technology is being trialed. Um, what is that? I think explanation of a way of reproducing. Of course, fertilized embryo is the DNA. I think that's an A. Mm, so so also another one is exact point. So exact point is talking about Sadly, the passenger's pigeon. So it's a exact point. A particular species. A particular species means one species. One species. So a particular species means one animal, which is one animal. In our case, it's a pigeon. Sadly, pigeons' existence came to an end. Came to an end. So if that is the part, then um exact point means 1st September 1914. 1st September 1914. So this part is going to be where we have to navigate through the answer. This is going to be number 17. I'm gonna give us a bracket. Then, but however, for the number 15, reproducing an explanation. The basic premise involves using cloning technology to turn the DNA of extinct animals into a fertilized embryo, which is carried out by the nearest relative still in existence. In this case, blah 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 blah. It keeps on going. Right. I'm gonna highlight that part also. I'm gonna give this a number 15. There we go. So in Australia, the thylacine, more commonly known as the Tasmanian tiger, is another extinct creature which genetic scientists are striving to bring back to life. So one thing, now we have Michael Archer. What did Michael Archer say? Anything here? Reintroducing an extinct species. Another one here. Reintroducing an extinct species to its original habitat can improve the health of a particular species living there. So that means reintroducing an animal to help another animal. That is the meaning of it. So animal, what does that mean? Animal. All right, now we have to find the answer. It is important to concentrate on the causes of an animal's extinction. We have to find the causes. The causes. A species brought back from extinction could have an important beneficial impact on the vegetation of its habitat. This is question 23 is pretty much similar to 25. Reintroducing means bring back, could have an important beneficial impact on the vegetation of its habitat. Vegetation means a place where there's a chance to live, like plants, food to eat for the animals. So our current efforts at preserving biodiversity are insufficient. Insufficient means not enough. Biodiversity means diversity of biological things. Diverse, I mean, various. So there's no carnivore now in Tasmania that fills the niche which Thylacine once occupied, explains Michael Archer of the University of New South Wales. He points out that in the decades since the Thylacine went extinct, there has been a spread in a dangerously debilitating facial tumor syndrome, which threatens the existence of the Tasmanian devils, the island's other notorious residents. Thylacine would have prevented the spread because they would have killed significant number of Tasmanian devils. If that contagious cancer had popped up previously, it would have burned out in whatever region it started. The return of thylacines to Tasmania could help to ensure that devils are never again subjected to risk of this kind. This is what Michael Archer said. Reintroducing an species to its original habitat can improve the health of particular species living there. So could help to ensure that devils are never again subjected to risks of this kind. I think that's 23. I think 23 is going to be by B. Ben Shapiro said that. Although we will find it. Because he says that could help that devils are never again. I mean, if that contagious cancer had popped up previously, it would have burnt out in whatever region it started. The return of thylacine to Tasmania could help to ensure that devils are never again subjected to risk of this kind. Another thing that Archer, is there anything else that Archer said? I think we didn't find anything that Archer would have said. Paragraph B, however, it is talking about what here? No, I don't think it. I don't think there's anything. Let me just actually highlight this part because this is very important for us. And all right, now we have the answer as well. We have two answers. We have two answers. Exact point. We found the exact point, and then we found a particular species, which is pigeon. Another one here. If extinct species can be brought back to life, can humanity begin to correct the damage it has caused the natural world over the past few millennia? The idea of de-extinction is that we can reverse this process, bringing species that no longer exist back to life. The idea of I don't think that we can. I don't think we can do this. There's no way to bring back something that is 100% identical to a species that went extinct a long time ago. Ah, okay. Is this trying to say that if we reintroduce something, there will be continuation of life of another animal? The idea of de-extinction is that we can reverse this process, bringing species that no longer exist back to life, bringing species that no longer if extinct species can be brought to, can be brought back to life, can humanity begin to correct the damage of it has caused to the natural world? Um, so no, not that. It is important. I think 24. I think 24 is 24. It is important to concentrate. No, not 24. I'm sorry. Where was it? So a species brought back um a species brought back from extinction could have an important beneficial impact on the vegetation of its habitat. A more practical approach for long extinct species is to take the DNA of existing species as a template, ready for the insertion of strands of extinct animal DNA to create something new. A hybrid based on the living species, but which looks and or acts like the animal which died out. Mm. Is that the case? I think our current efforts is preserving biodiversity. A species brought back from extinction could have an important beneficial impact on the vegetation of. Uh, so we have another Beth Shapiro. Beth Shapiro. Many of the technologies that people have in mind when they think about the extinction can be used as a form of genetic rescue. Hmm. Okay, that is not what we thought. But I think that um the idea of the extinction, I don't know, like what is the problem here? Species brought back to life could have an important beneficial impact on the vegetation of its habitat. But the Beth Shapiro, he says that the idea of the extinction is that we can reverse this process, bringing species that no longer exist back to life. I don't think that we can do this. There's no way to bring something blah blah blah. Very interesting thing to say. And a more practical approach for long extinct species is to take DNA. I don't know. I think that's pretty much 25. There's no other answers I can probably navigate through because um or maybe it's our current efforts at preserving those are insufficient. Or maybe that's 26, however. Or maybe that's 26. I'm pretty much sure it has to be 26. Okay. Um let's go for the Novak, however. Um, for us, the goal has always been replacing the extinct species with a suitable replacement. When it comes to breeding, band-tailed pigeons scatter and make maybe one or two nests per hectare, whereas passenger pigeons were very social and would make thousands or more nests in 1 hectare. Since the disappearance of this key species, blah 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 blah. Ben Novak, what did you say? Uh, what else? According to Novak, a high. Oh, there he is. There's another one. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. Um, according to Novak, a hybridized tailed pigeon with the added nesting habitats of a passenger pigeon could, in theory, reestablish that forced disturbance. Okay, okay. Now we found that that's a wonderful Novak. Uh, so thereby creating a habitat necessary for a great many other native species to thrive. There we go. Oh my God, I've been searching for you for a very long time, and I think that's 20. That is 25. That is 25. What else do we have? But Beth Shapiro has also said something. Did he or did he not? Um, Here Shapiro she prefers to focus many of the technologies. While the prospect of bringing extinct animals back to life might capture imaginations, it is, of course, far easier to try to save an existing species which is merely threatened with extinction. Many of the technologies that people have in mind when they think about de-extinction can be used as a form of genetic rescue, explains Shapiro. She prefers, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I would like to read the quote. I would also say there is an incredible moral hazard. She prefers to focus the debate on how this emerging technology could be used to fully understand why various species went extinct in the first place, and therefore how we could use it to make genetic modifications which could prevent mass extinctions in the future. I would also say there is an incredible moral hazard to not do anything at all. She continues. We know that that what we are doing today is not enough. Oh my God, not enough, insufficient. Shapiro, 100%. There we go. I've been searching for you for a very long time. Not enough is not enough, and we have to be willing to take some calculated and measured risks. Not enough. Today is not enough, is insufficient, ladies and gentle fingers. Okay, I'm gonna take that and give this a number 26. All right. However, we are still left. It is important to concentrate on the causes of animal extinction. Who said that? Is that Shapiro said that? Is that did he said a more practical approach for long extinct species? Is that what he said? Um, I would say that there's an incredible moral hazard. What is an important moral hazard? She prefers to focus the debate on how this emerging technology could be used to fully understand why various species went extinct in the first place. Uh, it is important. She prefers the debate on means concentrate on. Focusing means concentrating. Um, it is important to concentrate on the causes of an animal's extinction. Animals extinction. I think she prefers to focus the debate on how this emerging technology could be used to fully understand why various species went extinct in the first place. I think that's the answer because there's no other answers I could find. There's no way he would say that because obviously the paraphrasing table is coming. So it's like concentrate on. This means focus on. That is what it's saying. So another one thing that's it is saying that why it is on the causes on the causes on the causes of an animal's extinction on the animal's extinction means why various species went extinct in the first place. That is it. That is pretty simple. That's pretty simple to navigate. I don't think it's wrong. I'm 100% sure that is the correct answer. So it's Shapiro. Other than that, you may use any letter more than once. But but I also found one thing. I also found one thing regarding the question number 14 when it comes to A. We already read paragraph F. So I think that he prefers to focus the debate on how this emerging technology could be used to fully understand why various species went extinct, uh, and uh, and make genetic modifications which could prevent mass extinctions in the future. So make genetic modifications which could prevent mass extinctions in the future means in the future is a further disappearance. Mass extinctions, so another one. So another thing here is that multiple species, species is paraphrased as, why are you wrong? What is wrong with this? I don't know. Multiple species in this case is playing the role of, what is that? Not multiple species, mass extinctions. Extinctions. Multiple species, mass extinctions. It's pretty simple. And also, um, what is it? What is it there? Further disappearance means, uh, further disappearance means further disappearance in the future. So like, uh, further disappearance, disappearance. Further disappearance means in the future. Further disappearance in the future. That's pretty simple. So I think that's what we have done. It's in paragraph F. Now we didn't read D. This complicated process and questionable outcome begs the question that what is actual point of this technology? For us, the goal has always been replacing the extinct species with a suitable replacement, explains Novak. When it comes to breeding, band-tailed pigeons scatter and make maybe one or two nests per hectare, whereas passenger pigeons were very social and would make 10,000 or more nests in 1 hectare. Since the disappearance of this key species, ecosystems in the eastern U.S. have suffered. Since the disappearance of this key species, because of that key species, ecosystems in the US has suffered as the lack of disturbance caused by thousands of passenger pigeons wrecking trees and branches means there's been minimal need for growth. So reference to a habitat which has suffered following the extinction. A habitat. Eastern US is a habitat. Eastern US is the habitat, so it's going to be paragraph D. All right, so habitat is a eastern US. So following extinctions of a species means disappearance of this key species. Key species are talking about the band-tailed pigeons. So okay, now the woolly mammoth revival project. We come back to our Professor George Bush. Oh my God, why Bush? But Church. Oh my God, sorry for that. Professor George Church and his team are trying to identify the something which enabled mammoth to live in the tundra. To live in the tundra. Are trying to identify the what? George, professor at Harvard Medical School and leader of the Woolly Mammoth Revival Project, has been focusing on cold resistance, the main way in which the extinct woolly mammoth and its nearest living relative, the Asian elephant, differ by pinpointing which genetic trait made it possible for mammoth to survive the city ice climates of the tundra. I trying to identify it, which enable mammoths to live in the tundra. Um, so genetic traits is going to be the answer. Genetic traits. Genetic traits. Genetic traits made it possible. Genetic traits made it possible. Made it possible. Made it possible here means made it possible means enabled. According to the church, introducing Asian elephants to the tundra would involve certain physical adaptations to minimize something. Minimize to shorten. My highest priority would be preserving the endangered Asian elephants as church, expanding their range to the huge ecosystem of the tundra. Necessary adaptations could include smaller ears. Ears. Smaller means minimize. Ears. What? No. Adaptation minimize ears. What is that? That is the worst logic ever. No. Hold on. Expanding their range to the huge ecosystem of the tundra. Necessary adaptations would include smaller ears, thicker hair, and extra insulating fat. All of the purpose of reducing heat loss. Ah, okay. Reducing heat loss. Okay. Reducing heat. So that's number 19. Number 19. So heat loss. Heat loss. To survive the tundra, the species would need to have the mammoth-like features of thicker hair. So we have thicker hair and smaller ears. Ears of a reduced size. Ears. Reduced size. Reduced size means smaller. Smaller. So ears. This is going to be number 20. All right. Now, and more insulating fat. Insulating fat. More more means extra. Insulating fat. So we're going to take that and navigate it here. We're going to give this as answer number 2021. Repopulating the tundra with mammoths or Asian elephant mammoth hybrids would also have an impact on the environment, which could help to reduce temperatures and decrease something. This repopulation of the tundra and boreal forests of Eurasia and North America with larger mammals could be a useful factor in reducing carbon emissions. So, carbon emissions. Reducing means decrease. So, reducing carbon emissions. It was summer completion is the easiest of summer completion is always easy to do. All right. Just take that closely. Yep. Finally, we have done the job. We have done the job, guys. If you have any questions, comment down below. Also, if you found it helpful, or smash that wonderful like button. If you don't like it, make the opposite. Smash that dislike button. However, thank you very much for watching, guys. It was a wonderful time to spend on something that is useful. So yeah, if you have any questions, once again, comment down below. I will come up with a very prompt response to your request. I will see you on the next episode. Bye bye.